Good morning, you're from FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Michel Vermette, the CEO of Armstrong Flooring. Michel, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Kemp. How are you?
I'm good. You and I were on a panel together recently, but it's been a long time since we've done an interview. You've been CEO at Armstrong since September of 2019. Most people know your background. You spent 25 years with Deltile/Mohawk. And actually, those early days of Deltile, Armstrong was an investor and part owner in Deltile back then, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely the first few years. They owned a third of Deltile.
I wanted to catch up with some things that have changed, some things you're putting into place. Before we get to that, though, let's talk about business. You know, COVID was made 2020 a rough year. So how was your 2020?
We were off to a great start in the first quarter. January, February, we're growing double digits. Actually, we're very upbeat on the year, and then naturally March hit, and the world came to a halt. And then naturally the second quarter, we're not sure what was going to happen, like many folks. And things started to improve. We were lucky. Then the fourth quarter, we started growing again, and we're pretty optimistic for 2021 and beyond. Right. So there's a lot of key verticals such as new construction and retail. I think commercial will be challenged, but we're pretty upbeat on 2021 that things will continue to improve, and hopefully this COVID situation will slowly fade out. We got an eye on the positive outlook.
Well, let me set the stage just a little bit more for what you stepped into. Well, right before you got to Armstrong, they had sold off their hardwood business. They really hadn't been investing in the business at all. They were still over there on that campus, a very expensive campus with the ceiling business. They'd cut the sales force. So you got there about the time when it was at a low, wasn't it? And you've made some big changes.
Well, to your point, I have a lot of upside and a lot of opportunities to improve things. Yes, our sales force was not as present as it needed to be. The company had basically retrenched in maybe verticals, and also new product introductions really had slowed down. So first and foremost was rebuilding the leadership team and product management and design and logistics, and then reinvesting in the sales force. So we've added residential sales folks, commercial sales folks in the field, and really rebuild some of the ranks to make sure we connect with our customers and re-engage the way we should.
Yeah, well, you've kind of adjusted some things on your balance sheet as well. You've sold that Southgate facility, which you sold for a pretty nice price, and that gives you some money to invest in the business. I think you've also made the decision to move out of that expensive campus as well, right?
Yes, we will be in a new headquarters at the end of June. We're actually completing our tech center. It's actually being completed this month, so we'll be in the new tech center in April. So to your point, very much putting a new start on Armstrong and also having new branding, refreshed branding. A lot of things going on, basically reinventing the company in a lot of ways, being much more customer-friendly.
Yeah, you personally, you now live in Lancaster. A couple other points to put emphasis on. Armstrong, the brand, has been around for 150 years. With making the right moves with products and with representation, could easily, step right back into the rhythm of having a brand name that's been around that long. You've got factories in the U.S. and China and Australia as well, right?
That is correct. We have a great brand that's very prominent and that everybody knows, and a lot of people in this industry have grown up with. So the brand definitely opens up a lot of doors. We have the manufacturing assets. We have a great R&D team also with a lot of innovation, a lot of great ideas. So there's a lot to work with. It's really putting these assets and the talent together to make sure we create the right products for the right customers, and it's coming together as we speak. And to your point, reinvesting the funding that we put together from the sale of the plant and the refinancing of the company last summer to really set it up for long-term success.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out, you've got kind of a silver bullet there from a personnel standpoint with Dave Thorson. If people who really know especially the commercial side of the LVT business, he's been almost everywhere to build the whole program for a lot of these companies. He was with Armstrong originally, and then he was with Mannington, and then he was with LG, and then he was with Shaw, and then he was with Mohawk, and now he's back with you. And I'd say he's forgotten more than most people ever knew about commercial LVT, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Dave is one of the best-known people in the industry when it comes to resilient, tremendous track record of success. To your point, all the brands you mentioned. He's built up many of their commercial brands and was well respected globally. The other thing Dave brings is instant credibility with many companies worldwide, both at the customer level and at the sourcing level. And to your point, when it comes to a technical question or innovation question, Dave is just a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. And you've been out shopping. You got a new head of hospitality. You stole Bill Palmer from Royal Thai. So, granted, that business is probably at the bottom right now, but what better time than to build your personnel in that area, right?
Bill's another one that has a lot of credibility, has a lot of relationships. And to your point, right now, hospitality is in a lull, but as you know, it takes time to get on specs, get certified, and as the business comes back, we will have done that work, and so we'll be in a good position to benefit from that rebound. So having someone like Bill and his credibility and his knowledge on our team is tremendous, and you match that up with our history, innovation, and credibility. That's a pretty powerful combo. So very excited to have someone like Bill, and we've been very fortunate to attract people like Bill, like Dave, and others to want to be part of the Armstrong story and really have an impact.
Yeah, so you come from the accounting side, and I like the way you think. You've kind of kept it simple. You've got three core things that you're telling the market you're going to do. You're going to expand your customer reach, you're going to simplify the product offering, and you're going to strengthen your core capabilities, right?
That is the plan,
yeah.
And try to keep it simple and focused, and that's what we're focused on executing.
The big decision is how do you build relationships, all the way in the channel and still sell through distribution, and those are some of the key things you're looking at right now, right?
Right, and we're very lucky. We got some great relationship with distribution. We've introduced some products like our Quick Ship program for distribution, which they've done very well with. And the good thing is our distributors are very knowledgeable. They know the market, they know their way around, and they know that Armstrong has to be successful in every aspect for them to be successful. So they know that some customers want to buy differently. They know they'd rather be Armstrong than someone else. So they understand that, and I think they're working with us in that regard. So I think as long as we see that as additive to the whole, they're very supportive and understanding of that. The idea is, we're after the 90% market share that we don't have, and that's both us and our distributors that we don't have. So there's a lot to go after, and that's what we're trying to work towards and capture, and that's what our focus is on.
So do you feel like this momentum you're feeling in the fourth quarter that you've already talked about with your investors, you feel like that's going to continue into this year?
Yeah, I'm optimistic for 21. I think definitely, as I mentioned, some of the verticals will, new construction is definitely positive. Retail is positive. I think home centers will still have a good year this year, and I think commercial will only improve, as it matures. Some verticals will be more challenged than others within commercial, but I do expect that to progress through 21 and 22. So I think as the year comes in, I expect better days for sure in commercial, and overall, I expect a very strong year for Armstrong Flooring.
All right. Well, Michel, it's good to catch up with you. Thanks for the update with what's going on with Armstrong. Again, been talking to Michel Vermette, the CEO for Armstrong Flooring, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.